Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of my Ascension messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson. Today I'm going to channel like I do every Thursday morning from Australia. Now, first of all, a bit of housekeeping. I have a couple of things coming up. I have a pirate radio podcast coming up on Saturday, and I'll see if I can find the links to put down below. Otherwise, you can go onto my Facebook and I'll put links on that. Also have a beautiful interview coming up with a lovely guy called Katman, and he has created Third Eye Salon, which is interviewing different people, spiritual people on their journey. But he is actually going on his own journey of self-discovering into channeling. And so I proposed to him to interview him. So that's coming up next week. We should be live. So look out for that one. I also have my classes. My second class is open still for bookings. So if you want to join in on the classroom, it's only $20. It's through Zoom, and you get a link, and it's pretty self-explanatory now. If you go on to book and they come up with the calendar and it says no availability, that is just due to the fact that you're on the wrong date. So then there's a great big button underneath that says, look for availability, and then press that and it will go straight on to the 20th February, and then you can book, which will probably be the day before for people on the other side of the world. So book in for that, because I have so much to share, things that I can't share. Some of the things I can't share here, I can share there. And then I also have one-on-one readings if you are interested. So that's on my link as well through my website, www.codestoanewreality.com. And also I have a new video coming, and this video is just the really profound messages in it, and it's called Babies, Ghosts, and Our Way Out of the Matrix. It's so bizarre a title, but it really works on helping us gain perspective of our life cycle, the soul's life cycle, and how we can get trapped and how we can release ourselves. So look out for that one. I'm literally creating it at the moment, nearly finished, just going over it. So that's all the housekeeping out of the way. Now let's get into the channeling, right? So I'm gonna, I have turned off the chat bar for my channeling because I'm finding it a lot easier to do that. Please comment down below if you have any questions and you want them answered and that sort of thing. Sometimes I answer them on the comments themselves. And then other times I will bring them up. Now, my team was really guiding me this week and yesterday. Oh my gosh, I just got so bombarded by these aha moments, these literal aha moments. And it's pretty exciting stuff, what is coming for us with these new energies that are here. So this one was named Portals. And the reason why is because there was literal portals opening up, and we are creating them. We're literally creating them by letting go. And this is so interesting how this whole thing happened to me. I'm going to go through how it happened, and then the channeling will start to come through anyway, because they do that. So yesterday I was following messages that were coming through me. Let it go, let everything go, let go, let go. And then what is your desired outcome? What do you really truly want in this world? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to be in this world? And this is for everyone. This isn't just for me, right? This is why I'm going live with this. This is for everyone. How do you want to be perceived in this world against how you actually are perceived in this world, how you actually look, what are you doing, what's your job, where are you at with your relationships, what homes do you have, what belongings do you have, and what belongings do you need, and what belongings do you not need, do you want to travel, do you want to move through life light, it doesn't matter, but really they really want us to look at what our desired outcome, what our soul really yearns for, what we really truly yearn for just from ourselves, and what we actually do look like to the outside world, and what we actually are in this world, how our life is interacting with this world. And then they were like, the things that don't serve the desired outcome, let them go. And they were so adamant with let them go. And then the weird thing was happening. I'm driving around, right, and I keep seeing tires everywhere, and it's been coming up in my reality, weirdly enough, over the last week or so, a couple of weeks. And there was like 4 stacked tires just on the country road, stacked on the side of the road. People started to take them. And then I'm turning around the corner, and there's this one tire in the middle of the road. I'm like, whoa. And then I go around another corner, and there's these 4 massive tires leaned up, like tractor tires leaned up against a fence that were just to be given away. And I'm like, oh, hang on a sec, that's 3 times. And I always say to my guides, 3 times, show me something. If I'm not getting it, show me it 3 times. So I'm going through this whole thing in my head of tires. What does tires represent? Okay, tires represent movement, right? They carry things. They go from one place to another. And I'm like, okay, so that's movement. And then the next day I go online and I see this. I don't know if it was, I feel it wasn't real, but it was of a light portal. And you could see another dimension through it. And there was these kids that were standing beside it. And they're like, yeah, it's the light portal, and we could go through it and all of this. And then the video stops just before they go through it. And I'm thinking, in any case, it was all starting to come together, because then when I was thinking about the tires again, I'm thinking they're like round, like that portal that I saw, that light portal, and they do move people from one place to another, and we are traveling through our life. And then the letting go message came back to me. Let go of everything that's not serving you. And I suddenly saw this from an observer point of view, how it works. As we let go of things that don't serve us, we are giving opportunity for somebody else to step into that role that actually serves their soul's mission. So every time we let go of something, whether it's material thing, or whether it's a job, or whether it's a lover or a partner or whatever, it's opening up a new frequency for someone else to step in. But we need to step into these things not from a fear point of view, but from a love of ourselves point of view of what we truly desire. Now, if we all, this is in this moment in time, we are literally, like they keep showing me the particles just in flux, and our realities are being created all over again. This is the time where we can choose what we truly desire, and it will come to fruition. And all of the gifts that we always wanted, the lifestyle and everything that we wanted, can be present and grounded into this reality. But if we're all holding on to the just in cases over here of what might be needed for our future, and yet we don't like it, but it might be needed, but we don't like it, but we're not really using it, but we don't really care. In any of those sort of statements saying to ourselves, then when we let it go, we're actually allowing someone else to take hold of that and utilize it for their benefit of their soul's mission of what they truly desire. But we have to start to move through life on what we desire and let go of things that we don't. And it was such a profound message. Now, it's not to say that a portal can't exist, right? A real portal where you can literally step through into a different frequency, into a different alignment of a completely new world, different time zone on Earth, a different location on Earth, by stepping through these vortexes that do exist on Gaia, on Earth, where we can align ourselves with that flux, because the energy on Gaia and in that place, in that locality is in flux itself. But we still would have to walk through that portal or that place or that energy, letting go of everything that we see around us and visualizing using our imagination of where we actually want to go, or we get taken there by somebody else and we're trusting them to take us through the portal, an actual physical portal, into another place. Or your soul's mission is to go on that journey. And so it was already put in place that you go through that. And even if your logical mind can't handle it in that moment, you were going to go through it, because it was part of the lessons of you learning to let go in a great way, in a big way. And then you end up in a different vortex or a different place. And you will actually find there are stories of people who have walked through portals into different time zones, into different localities on Gaia, and going, what the, or even different alignments of realities that existed in another plane. So there is that can be absolutely possible. But to start this, to bring portal energy into our reality, we have to start to see how letting go of something, letting go of our reality and what it looks like right here, right now, and all the things that don't serve us, and how when we're focusing in on trusting that we're going to be led to someone else letting go of their reality so that you can step into their position, actually does create a new existence for you. We're literally creating our own portals to be able to experience something completely new in this world, but coming from love of self, coming from what we really truly deserve, and not coming from a fear-based scenario of one person saying, you all have to go through my portal, my reality. You all have to drive yourself into the fear game of where my reality will take you, which is limitations, rules, and because they're trying to control. Now, every time that we do step away from someone who is trying to do that, there's only one thing that they can do, is to look at themselves, because when they are looking outside themselves for control and having people under them that are controlling, and they're all dominating and telling people what they should do, they're demanding their reality to be that way, and having people that are victimized following them. When you as a victim say no more to that, I am creating my own reality, going to my own desired outcome, and trusting that someone else out there is letting go of their reality enough that's not serving them for me to step into that. When you do that, the people that are in control of their reality by an outside controlling fraction have to look at themselves, because they have no one that they can control anymore. They can't. They're all stepped away and moved into their own desired outcome. So they're then faced off with themselves. So you doing that is actually helping them. Instead of helping them create the reality that's of doomsday and fear-based and all of that, you walking away is literally helping them look at themselves, because they have nowhere else to look, no one else to control, and they have to start doing the inner journey, the inner work. They'll just keep going from one victimized person to another. So what we're doing is we're waking up all these victims to stepping out of their reality and choosing the path that they truly know that they're worthy of and that they desire, because they are just as important as everyone else. We're all just as important as everyone else in this world. There should never be somebody more important, because that's saying that one person's more important than source energy. And we're all source energy. We're all source energy going on a journey through this body. So if you're saying someone else is more important, you're saying that a fraction of source energy or God itself is more important than your fraction of source energy, God itself, going on a journey. Does not work. We are all exactly equal. It's just that some of us are more aware of reality and how we can create our own path, and some of us are more controlling, and some of us are more on the victim side of things, because they don't know if they can trust themselves. And in trusting yourself, you're asking to trust the outside world again, because even if you walk into a reality where there's another person coming into your reality, that you say you can't trust them, well, you decided to be part of their reality, that you can't trust them. You decided to let their reality be part of yours, instead of walking away and saying, you know what, I don't need you in my reality, because I can feel the vibrational me is not working for me to feel happy about who I am. And I'm now I'm not trusting myself to choose the right people to be in my life. I'm saying, oh my gosh, why was it the next person's going to lie to me? You're not trusting yourself to catch it. You're not trusting your intuition to catch it. So it does come back to you to trust your intuition and your own guidance system, your own understanding that your soul, as the observer of your reality, can guide you through your life through love. So that's a lot, all in like 15, 16 minutes of me being live, probably only 10, because I did an introduction, right? Let me take a cup of tea. Yes, so there's a lot that's in flux at the moment that is expanding humanity's consciousness into creating the desired reality that we really, truly deserve. But it's up to us as an individual self of knowing how valuable we are and where our mission or our desired outcome could take us. If you feel in yourself, I just don't know how to get there, then that's why they always bring us back to remembering when you were a child. Now, if when you were a child you were born into an energy of victimization because the past life was our desired outcome could be. So if I was in that position, I would be utilizing my imagination and not listening to the program of stop daydreaming. Daydream, go out and daydream, like literally start to see the beauty in the world that you are in the moment given, that has space in your life that doesn't have a perpetrator, controlling you. Go find a space, ask for a space, ask your soul to show you a place where you can go, whether it be that you go for a walk every day. And when you go for that walk, let go of that reality and then start imagining the reality that you desire. And even if you can't do that, they're telling me sit down in a field or by a stream or by a tree and then start to see how beautiful a blade of grass is, how beautiful a flower is, how beautiful the insects are. Just start to love life in some capacity, because when you start to love life in some capacity, you're learning to love yourself. You're learning to trust the love of yourself. And that's that is a thread that you can pull, and it will literally, they're showing me like the sack that you get, that you pull a thread and it's got the little zigzag at the top, and when you pull that right connection, brrr, it just comes out. So then when you start to do that, you might go back home or whatever, and you're in that kind of a place, but you can say to yourself, well, I gave myself an opportunity to see a different reality over there. So let's bring as much of that feeling in through my day as I can. And the more you do that, the more the illusion of the perpetrator starts falling away, because you're taking back your power of loving. And love is the true essence of the soul. It's even the true essence of their soul, and they're caught in a perpetual problematic world that they're trying to control outside themselves, because they're feeling so empty and confused within themselves and fighting within themselves, not feeling good about who they are at all anyway, but for them to have been that controlling fraction in your life. So yeah, there is all these opportunities that have been opened up for humanity. They're bringing me now to the light workers and the responsibility, but it's not responsibility of shining your light now, because you as so-called light worker, we could just call it a soul that came into this reality straight from a higher frequency, that didn't go through the movements of life after life. And because of I can only call it a light worker. I hate labeling things, but this is where we have to go, because our logic has labeled things. So what else do I call it, right? Souls that are straight from higher dimensions, that have come here specifically to help guide humanity. They are so close to their soul and love that they can start to carve a new path and show others how to do it. It's now time to fulfill the mission. Now, responsibility sounds like a big word where you're carrying a lot on your shoulders, right? But in this content's responsibility, that's telling me, is more of you living your life to the fullest, and all you have to do is be absolutely 100% authentically you, and loving your life, whether that could be the simplest thing to, you know what, I love cooking, I love the experience of food, and experimenting with it, and creating happiness for my family. Or it could be, I love gardening. It could be very simple, right? Like that very grounded reality that we're creating. It doesn't have to be just because you've come from a higher perspective where you knew all about telepathy and telekinesis and portals and premonitions and all of that sort of stuff. You knew all about it. It doesn't have to be that. It could be the most grounded thing. Your soul might have went, I want to come in here. My mission is to ground the reality that they have through love, so that I can be that go-between to teach people how to live in this world through love, because they might not be ready for telepathy, telekinesis, and all those beautiful things that are expansion of humanity's awareness in the future. And then there'll be some of us that are light workers that are actually here to ground telepathy, actually here to ground the unknown, the expand reality, the most incredible realities, and teach people that there's localities on Gaia herself, that are literal portals that we can step through into different dimensional aspects, and how to let go of the story completely to be able to move through into another story, but still hold it in the memory of, oh my gosh, I actually walked through that, and I see that I shifted into another vibrational me. Every single day is, every single movement in life is literally portals. It is a collaboration of them. It's just that how bigger shift do you want to have? And sometimes we literally move into a portal or another experience, but our memory is not capable of remembering the reality that we stepped into, and so it won't be, it will just feel like a bit of a glitch in this world. Or it's kind of like everything that you perceive around you in this moment is here because you've held it in a memory, and it could be a collective memory of many people holding it there. But as soon as there is a shift in the memory, and that thing, then if it was completely let go of, it wouldn't exist in your reality. So there's a whole heap of different ways that you could explain portals in this reality. But the one that they want to really bring us back to is the groundingness of understanding what letting go actually does, and how we are moving ourselves into creating a new reality. And that sounds a little bit on the boring side for those that are really wanting the juicy stuff of the portal experiences and that. But if we don't take these steps into understanding, then how can we, to take a giant leap into something, we would have to be very expansive in our mindset, and not have any fear around it. Stepping into a portal that takes you into something that's not so nice is you literally walking through a portal through fear of yourself, of where you're going to end up. And so you can end up in a place that you don't desire because you have that fear. What does fear do? It does the same as what love does on the opposite end of the spectrum. Fear creates reality you don't love, you don't want, and love creates the reality that you do want. So we have to, it was a lesson previously of letting go of fear, letting go or seeing people outside of us that are controlling. Really, they're just like lit up, like whoo at the moment, because of their lies and their schemes are just, they can't hide their truth of who they are anymore. We're all starting to not be able to hide our truth of who we authentically are. So if we're coming from a heart space and love for ourselves, which means love for our outside world, then that shines, that starts to show. If we're coming from, I hate who I am, so I have to control everyone, it's going to shine. It's still going to shine. People are going to see it lit up. And then you have an easier choice to make of whether you want to still be the victim to that person or not too. So they keep bringing us back to, even though this is called portals and opening up portals and stuff, they still keep bringing us back to our desired reality of what we want to step into through these portals that are expanding. And they're only expanding because many are letting go of things that aren't serving them. It really reminds me, of a... It reminds me of a time when I was younger. I had this crazy, cool, fun auntie. She would like get up on tabletops and dance and, that sort of thing. I didn't get to meet her that much in her life, but she's one of these guides I know that are always present with me because of her energy and alignment with mine. But this day she had a party and she asked everybody, all the family that around, and she actually created one of those 3 tiers of cakes, and she offered me, little me, that was never offered first above all of the adults and everyone. She offered me the first cake, and I was like, I actually felt unworthy in that moment, in that time of my life. I was only little though. But I saw the cake that I wanted. I wanted the creamed horn. I really wanted the cream horn. But then I saw this fudge looking brownie cake, and I thought, oh, I don't like those cakes. But you know what one I took? I took the fudge looking brownie cake because I was thinking I'm helping everyone else and I'm giving somebody else the cake that I desire. I'm like, everyone else must like the same cake as me and hate the same cake as I do. So I'll grab the brownie and I'll put myself in a position of unworthiness of myself and take the brownie, right? And then by the end of everyone in that room being, eating, there was only 2 cakes left, and one of them was the creamed horn. So this is what I'm saying about us and our desired outcome. We think that we're stepping on someone else's toes. We're taking someone else's reality and all that. We're not. When we come from love, we all weave a beautiful blanket together. When we come from love, we all fit in this beautiful quilted blanket together and create a life of that. And no one is stepping on someone else's toes because there is absolutely unlimited expansion of where reality can take us. Many people want to become so-called seen in this world with their messages and stuff. All of a sudden, YouTube is created, and different social platforms are created, and that becomes our reality because our existence is wanting that, and many, many more want to do that. So that becomes our reality. There has been moments in time in certain places where there's enough of us that wanted extra cash coming in. And when we all want extra cash, all of a sudden the governments are like trying to buy us off with $1,000 in their account for something that they've been trying to push us into a limited consciousness over here. So they've given us $1,000 to make us feel like we're doing the right thing. So all of us end up with more money all of a sudden. See, we have the capacity, humanity has a capacity to shift reality. People have the power. People have always had the power. It's just that we gave our power away. And we are constantly in our minds, in our heads, in our logical thinking, because that's what we were taught to do through our schooling and our education, to say that, oh my gosh, if I take that, then someone else won't have it. No, I've got to let them have it. That sort of thing. Or I can't go for what I really truly want in my life because that's just been greedy. Or stupid thoughts. That's silly. Sorry. they're like really, really in my head at the moment with this. So I'm just going to go for it. But silly thoughts, that we really aren't, it's not conducive to the reality that we want to create. We want to create this beautiful reality where we're all happy. I don't want to be, at the top of my game and having that beautiful home and dream man and everything that I want and I need one there. I want everyone to come I want everyone to come with, because when we're all in that higher vibration, we have even more expansiveness of love that we can tap into and dive into different people's stories, that we collectively come together and we're part, and then we collectively come together and wow, I love your story. Your story is so cool, but I'm really happy in my story. Can I, and then you can see their story and go, I really want to try that. And you do, just go try it. You're not taking from them. Their story is still going to be the same story that they've created. We are that powerful to be able to create our own story and allow it to be shared. There's no copyright anymore. There's no copyright on anything. There's no restrictions. There's no laws. There's just us moving through our life through the vibration of love, of self. And when we take back our responsibility of love, of self, we're no longer feeding into a fear-based scenario. It doesn't happen anymore. It's just non-existent. And that is truly the essence of the higher vibrations. That is where we will meet those from benevolent beings from other planets, and be able to move through portals that take us into those places, because we're vibrationally meeting the expectation of our journey, moving into only love and only beauty. And the more that you love yourself, the more that the world is love to you. And what is the universe? It is your perceived idea of what the universe is. What is this world? It's your perceived idea of what the world is. So if you're constantly focusing in on those poor people that are victimized and brutally hurt and all of that sort of stuff, you're fueling their reality. You're literally fueling their reality by saying, oh my gosh, poor you, you're in a fix there. I can't help you, but I'm going to give you attention to and say that in my reality, that reality exists. And so you're literally fueling the reality of those that are, but when they are faced with themselves, they have to look at themselves and do the inner work. They can only do that, and that is called the hermit stage. That's called the place where all of a sudden there's only them to look at, and they can only see, like I did 2 years ago when I came out of an abusive relationship, and I was bet up and cheated on and everything. When I came out of that, I had to look at my repeating relationships with everybody else. I had to look at myself, because I was the main denominator, the main story, the main character in all of those stories. And I couldn't keep on blaming everyone else outside me, because it got me to a point where I had to look at myself, because I didn't want to go any further. So this is where humanity's consciousness is leading at the moment, to be able to bring us into this beautiful new existence, and move through, create portals for others by letting go of what we don't want. We're literally creating opportunities for others to move through, like a tire would on a car, to travel through into another reality. And also because the light workers start taking back their power, and understanding that there is more, that we can let go even quicker and be able to move through portals into totally different spaces. We're inviting benevolent beings. We're inviting different realities that we want to expand our soul into. We're inviting a different reality. Trying to see where they're going with that one. That I kind of lost a little bit as they were telling me. Anyway, so yeah, why I lost that, I'll bring myself back to reality. Please subscribe and like if you're interested, to get these messages out to even more people, and share away. And don't forget that I do have a class on, my class is on the 20th, which is this Monday. It's coming up. It could be the 19th for you if you're on the other side of the world. Please, I think you can book 5 hours before, up till 5 hours before. So go on my website, which is the links down below. It's $20, and you can join me on, like, stepping into a Pleiadian classroom. We're literally, my guides are there present to help guide you as well. And we've got some fun games and stuff that you can work with to expand your reality. See what else they have coming through. I'm so aware too of the fact that they wanted to title this Portals, and that, people want the juicy stuff of portals. And so let's go there. Let's go there a little bit, right? So Gaia herself has chakra points within her own aspect of the energy that she is. And there is definitely grid lines or energy lines. Many of those energy lines in the past, when we did have another existence, humanity was in the ancient times, sort of, so to speak, created monoliths, or there's another word for where they had a lid on top. monoliths and stone structures that I'm just asking them to give me that name. It's just sitting there. I can feel the vibration, but the actual logical name of what humans call them is elusive at the moment. Because even though I'm channeling through, I channel through they give it to me as in wisdom, and then I have to interpret it into the English language. Any case, so on Gaia, we have very specific points that she is open to be able to move from one place to another. Now, some of those places have been held hostage by those that were in power. We're talking Pine Gap in Australia, and then in the USA, there's literal openings. There's a lot that were on in England as well. There's a lot where humanity can go to shift into different time zones, different realities, existences. Because over in Europe, because it's we've been there a lot longer. Humanity was there for a long time. The ones that hold the codes over in Australia, those that have been here a long time. So we're talking the native Australians, and so forth. What some would call Aboriginals. And the same with the Indians over in the USA. They had some of the codes that had the understanding of where these vibrational meets were. They're also showing me that Gaia is shifting. So those that were held hostage will be less of value to the interdimensional gateways working, and are shifting so that those who are coming into their intuitive skills can be guided to the new area, because she's shifting, humanity's consciousness is shifting. That means though that was held hostage is no longer held hostage. So that's something that I just channeled through then. That's necessary for those that are have missions to find these places. Okay. And so when you move through, when you know that there's an energy there that's in flux, and that you can literally use it with your own pineal gland and your own, you have to already be in balance to be able to experience that. You can't go through these places unless it was an actual understanding or mission of your soul to move through there to show others that these places still exist, and that would be already in alignment of your soul's life story. But anyone else that is trying to move through a portal into some other existence or gain wisdom through that would have to come from absolutely balanced mind. So their literal logic and their intuition is working together as one. And that means that the intuition says there is an opportunity here for us to move through this portal, and their logic says, yes, there is. And there is no doubt moving through that portal. We can literally create portals too within ourselves. And this is where the expansion goes from with our pineal gland. It will literally end up moving us, even though we are just staying in the one, say for me in my room here right now, because in the end, humanity's consciousness is going to expand into not just remote viewing, but teleportation. And that has to have ability to be able to first see where you're going, astral travel, or remote view, and then go, this is where I'm going, and then you let go of this place and you move into that place, but only from a balanced mind. This can own all these new things that are coming, have to come from a balanced state of awareness, otherwise it won't work. There's only so many people on a mission that actually have that opportunity to do that without a balanced mind. So for instance, I can jump into higher vibrations and feel higher vibrations more than what some humans can, because that was my actual mission. So when I went on a journey with grandmother Parisha, and a vision quest where we weren't allowed to eat food for like 3 days, and so forth, they took me, my team took me literally to another reality, and I saw, it was through a dream, but it was very real. It's the only way I can explain it. But it was literally showing me why I could actually go into these other dimensional frequencies if I focused enough, because I was already taken to other realities, potential Earths where humanity could go. And in this experience, I saw, because I was in a tent, in this vision quest, I saw galloping horses coming towards me on both sides. So that was representing my 2 hemispheres of my brain fighting, and they were warring just like everyone else's was warring, right? So as myself, my soul started to crawl out, and I was trying to find a safe place, and I saw this cave which represented my pineal gland, and then I moved into the pineal gland, and straight away, you could not go there. There was a elder holding fort. She would not let you in, and she would just straight up, no questions asked, you're coming from a warring zone, no, you are not allowed in. So she would fire an arrow. But because my mission or my soul's journey was, even though I'm coming from a warring place, was to be allowed to go into these higher dimensions, so I could give you guys this information on how to get there. I ended up having another elder come in front of her and took the blow, and ended up taking the blow of the arrow that she was trying to get to me. And that was her friend. It was kind of someone that she knew and this is in the dream, right? But there was a real understanding that was happening with me, because it was a vision quest. Anyway, she died, and then the one that was in charge grabbed my hand, and she could see into the future of, no matter what she tried, I still survived. I still was able to, I remember my hand like going up and pulling myself up and going, I can still walk through. So she just went, go into the pineal gland. I can't obviously stop you. So, and that was because that's my mission. So I ended up walking through the door, through the gateway, into this beautiful, vibrant world of just peace, even though I wasn't in peace. But it was just this beautiful land with a stream running in front of me and a bridge going across it. So the bridge was representing the corpus callosum between the 2 hemispheres of the brain, and the stream was all thoughts, the story that's traveling, and inside, as I walked over the bridge, this little Pleiadian boy that was representing my higher self, this little blonde-haired kid, said, watch this. And he put his hand in front of this water that was running through, and it stopped. So he was teaching me, you can stop the story, you can stop the energy, you can stop the story whenever you want. And then this huge, he pulled his hand back, and the train of thought or the story started to evolve again. And then a big fish was coming, but it was dead. And then behind that, another fish that was decaying. And he said, watch this. And he puts his hand out. And as it goes under the bridge, so from one consciousness, like your right hemisphere, through to your left hemisphere of logic, it ended up, that he could move it into coming back to life. So for instance, we have our intuition that has an understanding of something that can be created or grounded onto this reality, and our logic has constantly said no, then the fish will stay dead. But if the logic then says, yes, this is something I can ground into this reality, then it comes alive. And then the one after that was decaying. I was thinking to myself, there's no way he's going to be able to bring this one alive, because it literally had holes in it and everything. So this is a story that was coming from my intuition that was literally shot down by other past lives, and everything is really decaying. And then as he put his hand out, it started to grow into something different. It had like weeds growing out and kind of morphed into a different scenario. So even things that we are bringing through from our imagination, from different past lives that can't be grounded into this reality, we can still use pieces of it and combine it with things that are logical, that can be created into this reality. So I learned a valuable lesson, and I honestly didn't understand all of that and even now I'm still gaining wisdom now from that vision quest that had happened in Ohio with the elder. So then she proceeded to tell me that of my mission was to help guide humanity and be a compass for humanity. So this is the reason why I'm bringing all this up, is that we literally have these new understanding of these light workers or people, souls straight from other higher frequencies that are here, that are going to be opening up new ways of moving through life. And if you can find one, it's not that you want to follow, it's that you see them as a guide only, because in the end, you're the one that's going to take your reality to where you want it to go, and what you can handle and what you can ground into this reality. Remember, no one is any better than anyone else. We are all exactly equal in this journey that we're going on, where we are source energy, expanding a consciousness at the moment of humanity's consciousness and awareness, and out of the fear-ridden matrix story. Because when we start to take our power back, that we have the ability to do all this telepathic and telekinesis, and it comes from inside us, right? It comes from our own self. We have no devices that can be controlled by other people trying to control us, and where a phone can be dropped or lost or taken from us, or it can be used as an all-seeing eye of what I'm doing, and we're all in fear of it. That is a go-between. That is a go-between to make us realize that we already have this ability within us when we come into our wholeness of ourself, of everything being as equal within logic and intuition, being part of the journey and part of the adventure and the experience. So, in saying all of that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please don't forget, I have a podcast coming up on Saturday, Pirate Radio podcast. I will try to give the link down below. Katmans interview coming up from Third Eye Salon. Beautiful, amazing guy that's creating his own reality and moving into learning how to channel himself. And then I have classes. I have a class on the 20th of February that's in Australia, so it could be 19th for you. So please book away for that. Book into that. I love to see you guys there. I have a few people already booked, so I'm really happy, and I'm trusting that whoever's supposed to be there is supposed to be there. It's the group, that the dynamics that we are opening up from, to change this reality and learn all of the lessons that I've been taught and the channelings that are coming through. So I'm feeling like my guides are guiding whoever's supposed to be there to be there. Please, if you did try to book and it didn't work, then they're saying, even my guides are saying, try again. There was some errors, and that was my own blockages, not yours. That was my blockages. So try again now. And one-on-one readings, if you desire, the links on my website, codestoanewreality.com. And I also have a new video coming up called babies, ghosts, and our way out of the matrix. So look out for that one. I can't wait to show you. That one's got a lot of juicy stuff in that as well. Love you guys heaps. Until next time, Tuesday, I'll be doing my usual tarot and fun readings with you guys, and the chat bar will be open for that. And I'm also contemplating doing more channeling as well. I keep saying that, don't I? But I am sorting everything out. I have started the classes. Things are starting to move and go into something else. And I also will be going on Kevin Moore's show again too. So that's coming up too. Plus something really exciting still in the pipeworks, which I did bring up last year, and it's still in the pipeworks, but it is coming. Anyway, love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.